سعد الدين الحريري رئيسا لمجلس الوزراء.
Good afternoon. You're watching the English newscast here on Future Television. I'm Linda Tamim, and these are today's top stories. Russia's military says it has begun scaling down its deployment to Syria with its sole aircraft carrier, the first to quit the conflict zone. North Lebanon lawmaker Badr Wanous passes away overnight after a long battle with illness. And Christians across the world are celebrating Epiphany. North Lebanon lawmaker Badr Wanous has passed away overnight after a long battle with illness. He was 80. The Tripoli MP, who was affiliated with the Future movement, will be laid to rest in Dhur al-Hawa village in Qura. The family is expected to receive mourners at Shukr Mosque in Tripoli's Mina on Saturday and Sunday after the funeral. Wanous was married and is survived by a daughter and a son. Prime Minister Saad Hariri remembered Wanous in a tweet saying, quote, "We have lost an honest brother, a faithful fellow and a companion in difficult days," end of quote. Chinese Deputy Foreign Minister Zhang Ming has arrived in Beirut for talks with senior officials on boosting bilateral ties as well as regional issues. Zhang is expected to meet with President Michel Aoun, Speaker Nabih Berri and Prime Minister Saad Hariri during his two-day visit to Beirut. Upon his arrival, Zhang expressed his happiness to be in Lebanon for the first time in 20 years, saying his visit was aimed at discussing with Lebanese leaders ways to further strengthen relations between the two countries. He said he would also consult with Lebanese officials on regional and international issues of mutual interest. Russia's military says it has begun scaling down its deployment to Syria with its sole aircraft carrier, the first to quit the conflict zone. President Vladimir Putin ordered the reduction of forces in Syria on December 29th as he announced a ceasefire between government and rebel forces, which has since dampened down the fighting. Russia's main commander in Syria, Andrei Kartapolov, said Russia still had sufficient air defense capabilities in Syria thanks to its S-300 and S-400 systems deployed in the war-torn country. Baghdad's forces retook a series of villages from ISIS in western Iraq as they fought to oust it from territory near the Syrian border. The operation, which aims to recapture the towns of Rawa, Ana, and Al-Qaim, the last main populated areas held by ISIS in Anbar province, was launched on Thursday. 7 villages were reportedly recaptured, and government forces have reached the outskirts of Al-Sagra, an area southeast of Ana. Iraqi forces have retaken Ramadi and Fallujah, the 2 main cities in Anbar province, but security in recaptured areas remain precarious. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump is ordering all Obama politically appointed ambassadors to leave their post by Inauguration Day. That's coming up next. Welcome back. The U.S. House of Representatives overwhelmingly passed a resolution to condemn an earlier UN Council resolution which had demanded an end to an Israeli settlement building. House Resolution 11, introduced by Republican Ed Royce of California and supported by roughly 30 Democratic representatives, passed 342 to 80. The resolution broadly said the UN vote from December 23rd was an obstacle to Israeli-Palestinian peace and criticized the administration of President Barack Obama for abandoning long-standing U.S. foreign policy by abstaining. It also called for repeal of the UN resolution and provided measures for the incoming administration of U.S. President-elect Donald Trump to limit the effects of the UN resolution. Christians across the world are celebrating Epiphany, the day when the 3 kings of Orient arrived in Bethlehem to visit the infant Jesus, bearing gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh. In the Middle East, the Greek Orthodox Patriarch of Jerusalem, Theophilos III, has arrived at the West Bank city of Bethlehem, where he will lead Orthodox Christmas midnight Mass at the Church of Nativity. A crowd of thousands gathered outside the church believed by Christians to be the birthplace of Jesus. and enjoyed marching bands and a festive atmosphere. The patriarch was greeted by religious clergy, Palestinian officials, and worshippers. U.S. Vice President Joe Biden has slammed U.S. President-elect Donald Trump, saying it was time for him to grow up during an interview with PBS NewsHour conducted at the White House. Show host Judy Woodruff was asking Biden about Trump's use of Twitter in recent days, in which he called Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer the head clown for his work in defending the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare.
Excuse me, but you referred to this a minute ago. The Democrats are dealing with a new reality and how this new president will communicate. The tweets. Just today, he called the Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer the head clown. Last week, he said just like doing my best to disregard the many inflammatory President O statements and roadblocks. Thought it was going to be a smooth transition. Not in all caps. And an
Grow up, Donald. Grow up. Time to be an adult. You're president. You got to do something. Show us what you have. You're going to propose it in legislation. We're going to get to debate it. Let the public decide. Let them vote in Congress. Let's see what happens. It's going to be much clearer what he's for and against and what we're for and against now that it's going to get down to actually discussing in detail these issues that affect people's lives.
Have you seen now the report by the intelligence community on Russian hacking?
Yes, I have.
The Democrats during that?
Yes, I've read it.
And?
There is overwhelming consensus in the community and overwhelming evidence supplied by the community that Russia did engage in an effort to impact on the elections. There is no evidence that they actually tampered with voting booths or tampered with voting rolls, but there is clear evidence that they, in fact, were engaged in activities designed to try to impact on the outcome of the election. Get every single cancer genome sequence that has been sequenced. If I could ever put in one repository, we have the capacity to do 1,000,000 billion calculations per second. We'll be able to find out more than in 10 minutes, more than it would take 10 Nobel laureates 10 years to find out about the patterns of cancer and the cures for cancer. These are the things that I'm working on most. Drug prices are a problem. Access is a problem.
And still on Trump, the president-elect is ordering all Obama politically appointed ambassadors to leave their posts by Inauguration Day. Tara Joseph reports.
Breaking with diplomatic protocol, Donald Trump style. Reuters getting confirmation on Friday that the incoming president is ordering all politically appointed U.S. ambassadors to leave their posts before his inauguration in just a couple of weeks, ending decades of tradition that's seen top diplomats given a grace period to wind up their affairs. Questions are now surfacing over what this could mean for diplomacy, with Washington potentially being left without top envoys in crucial countries like Britain, Germany, and Canada for several months before appointments are approved by the Senate. Trump has taken a tough stance against leaving any political staff appointed under Barack Obama in office as he prepares to take over. And the move could be a major logistical headache for diplomats being ordered home, many of whom could now find themselves scrambling for visas and places to stay so that their children can finish the school year.
After working 12-hour days, 6 days a week, Hong Kong's army of domestic helpers let loose with a variety of activities on Hong Kong streets. Let's find out more in this report.
Cleaning, tidying, and helping out with kids nearly 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. Hong Kong's army of domestic helpers have little time for fun and games. But when Sunday comes around, hard work turns to hard play as these women let down their hair and strut their stuff. For those who want to break more of a sweat, sports leagues run all day across the city, even in the searing Hong Kong heat. No mercy on the volleyball court, but lots of friendship and play, taking their minds off the daily grind.
I'm taking care of 2 kids. They are 2.5 years old and the eldest is 5 years old. When my rest day, I'm so happy because I'm doing my activities. It's just like an exercise and you know, it's just like mingling with other people and other helpers.
Back in Central, modeling school goes curbside. women hoping to stretch into a different field altogether, competing against one another for a coveted spot on professional runways and competitions. Hong Kong is a city known for its spirited approach to hard work, something these women know more than a little about. And with just one precious day off a week, they know how to make every moment count.
Audiences got a new look at the upcoming 50 Shades of Grey sequel with the release of a new trailer for 50 Shades Darker. 50 Shades of Grey was a smash hit for Universal Pictures, earning $571 million worldwide. The teaser trailer shows the reconciliation of main characters Christian Grey, played by Jamie Dornan, and Anastasia Steele, played by Dakota Johnson. American pop star Taylor Swift and former One Direction member Zayn Malik released a surprise duet featured in the trailer titled I Don't Want to Live Forever. 50 Shades Darker is directed by James Foley and is set for release next February. Here's the trailer.
Anastasia, I want you back. Have dinner with me.
Okay, fine. I will have dinner with you because I'm hungry.
Been sitting eyes wide open behind these four walls, hoping you come.
Gotta be quicker than that, Cray. Are you happy? Baby. I've never been happier.
I feel crazy. Up all night, and every day.
He's changing.
I gave you something, but you gave me nothing. What is happening to me? I don't wanna live
This time,
forever.
no rules,
'Cause I know I've been living in vain.
no punishments,
I don't wanna fit
and
wherever.
no more secrets.
I just wanna keep calling your name until you come back home. I just wanna keep calling your name until you come back home.
You know that girl, Christian?
Baby,
Do you think you're the first woman
I feel crazy.
who's tried to save
What
him?
is happening to me?
It's not what he wants anymore.
Baby, baby. I feel crazy, crazy.
Your boyfriend has a reputation. Do you want to be kept or have respect?
If something were to happen to you, I could never forgive myself.
Tell me what you have that I don't.
Till you come back home.
Rated R.
This marks the end of our bulletin for today. Now for a recap of the top stories. Russia's military says it has begun scaling down its deployment to Syria with its sole aircraft carrier, the first to quit the conflict zone. North Lebanon lawmaker Badr Wanous passes away overnight after a long battle with illness. And Christians across the world are celebrating Epiphany. Armenians in Lebanon and the world are also celebrating Christmas. Those are your top stories for today. I'm Lina Tamim, wishing everyone celebrating a happy Epiphany and a merry Armenian Christmas.
سعد الدين الحريري رئيسا لمجلس الوزراء.